Greetings everyone, and Grade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side is the Gray Sky Eagle. We have a foreign name. Spawn on the south side is the Blue Cobalt Ice Olaf. We got Quickslow87. This map is a 3-base map. Of course, one is neutral, and behind another one's, or technically two behind a pipe scene. This base cannot deploy any non-entry assets until that pipe scene is destroyed. No, you can go around, still not great. But you do have mountain access here for your infantry and mechs. Both players do start off with 1 health missile, which can do some damage, but it's primarily just for a cheap reconnaissance unit that does not move very quickly. And also can't shoot any infantry. Not sure if there's any situation where a 1 health recon can do 10% damage to an infantry unit. Probably on a road, maybe some high firepower bonuses. Hard to, I actually don't know the top of my head. But either way, this missile could be withdrawn to get some repairs if needed. Mech does get a good shot there onto the anti-air, so let's just going to clear that out relatively quickly. The missile could lock down the airport. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, no, it can't. Has to get pretty far forward. In order for a missile to one-shot a battle copter, I think it needs to be at least 7 health as well. Not that, goes range there. Going to be using that to capture the comm tower. 5 health infantry is going to be pushing forward. May end its turn onto this city there. I'm not sure how much 5 health mech can do. It'll probably at least be a target if you don't want to take time to repair it up. Does interrupt the capture there. Recon over here to do something similar. Recon does strike the recon. Oh, that one was actually in range over there as well. Does he finish off with an infantry unit there to prevent this interrupt, which good chance we probably would do an interrupt there. Mech has 1 ammo remaining, though I thought it fired 2 rounds up there, so I would assume I thought it had mechs at 3 ammo, not 4. Maybe it's a little bit bugged. Oh nope, next now I'll highlight it, it says 0 ammo. I think I'm just going crazy. Nope, the mech is out of ammo. Does take a shot there, of course on negative ground. Took a lot of retaliation damage there. Start between the two. Infantry does fall back to the city. Recon does get back to the city as well. Does well tank there versus 2 tanks so far. Interrupts the capture and fully stops it there. Resupplies the recon there, so should repair all percentage points of damage it had received. Infantry, tank, and infantry. Does get a good hit there. Nothing to stop it, so free pick. The recon needs to run away, maybe to this forest. The lander does load up the tank there and be using the boost. Very nice. One way to get around all the forests. You now have a battle copter, infantry, and infantry, as well as another infantry. Anti-air does counterattack onto that mech. And does use the mech to finish it off, and the infantry is going to be capturing up the comm tower next. Picks off that capturing squad. We'll pick off the missile there. This missile's still alive. It's still at least being useful for a spotter. Got another tank, recon, and infantry. Does hit the infantry up north. Capture the comm tower, which I just realized he captured the comm tower second, so a slight mistake there. Oh well. Blizzard's available and lightning drive. Olaf's superpower can be very useful, and his power can have some utility because it's not exactly a great idea to do a lightning strike in the snow. It reduces the mobility. But if the 2 front lines collapse in each other, that'd be another matter. It's probably just reduce mobility, as I mentioned. Who's forward tank there? And hits that shot there. Now that tank's gonna be good position. But of course it has to choose one. Battlecopter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is in range, which is going to be very important there. Eagle's battlecopters do get additional 50% firepower. Plus, let's see, right now 2 copters versus 1, so this battlecopter is probably going to do 7 points of damage, likely. I was correct. Is that infantry twice? This tank can still move and engage this tank. course, there's a tank in reserve. He does hold the missile, so he will not take a shot from it. Does finish off the wounded tank rather than trying to get a first strike on the other tank. I think it would have been better to go for a first strike on the other tank. Max still firing away against the pipe scene, down to 36 health. Mech throws a round into the pipe scene. This mech should have 0 ammo remaining. Takes off a number of units there. Continue capture. Join captures there. This one's going to just normal capture. Should have enough of a screen to keep it alive. And if he does charge and pick it off, he will probably lose a tank or battlecopter to it. It's that unit. Down to 3 capture progress. So it's 2 turns capture. Hits both those tanks, knocks out that tank there. The missile does fall back to the city. It getting repaired up will be quite useful, especially versus Eagle, who is the air CO. And as mentioned before, and 7 health is enough to take out a battlecopter. That may not be the case with the extra 10% defense. But then again, battlecopter is pretty squishy. 10% defense does not really mean much of that. It's not Wayland levels of plus 50% defense. We also could see Winter Fury this turn. That's just Olaf took a lot more losses than Eagle so far this game. 88,000 of 18,000 funds, so Olaf has an ever slight value advantage, but not necessarily super high. Though it is his turn. Missile does get a strike on that battlecopter, takes out 4 points of its health with only 3 health itself, so great shot there. Finish off the pipe scene there. Mech will receive a little bit of healing. 9 health was good enough. Interrupts the capture. Battlecopter, infantry, tank, and infantry. Interrupts the capture down there. Winter Fury was not summoned last turn. It will be summoned this turn. A lot of wounded infantry is there. That capture progress has been fully reverted. Winter Fury is now available. He could hold off on turn with it to delay the lightning strike. But it's probably best just to pull it out immediately. 113,000 down to 89. Hits the infantry once, tank hits infantry. Takes on another infantry unit there, recons in the area to help hit this unit once again. Does finish off that wounded tank. So is everything secondly wounded now. Finish off that 1 health infantry unit there. Lander's at the 26 fuel. This one's at 27 fuel, so it has to get the harbor before the next Winter Fury, so you will have to spend monies getting repaired or to buy a lander, or not lander, rig, APC. Boost for a tank there. The counterattack will not be great with the slow mobility. He will probably not be able to get a lightning strike. Both players do have 2 comm towers at the moment. Battlecopter, infantry. Instead of 100,000, Olaf starts at 120 with his day-to-days, so he has about 2 turn advantage. He has 22,000 income versus 19 as well. There's still 2, 3 despicable neutral properties left on the field. It's recon twice. Tank once. Of course, got another tank in reserve, so this one could receive a first strike here. There's another tank here. He has a missile up to 7 health, which is getting to the point where it should be able to start picking off Eagle battlecopters in 1 shot. Let's just double check. Nope, Eagle's defense, if it was another CO, it would, but thanks to Eagle's defense, it will not one-shot stuff. So that's not exactly healthy left over either way. So it looks like 8 health is a magic number for a 2 comm tower missile. Does pull back the missile. The missile knows where it's at, or knows where it's not. Lander here is at 20 fuel. Finish off the infantry unit there. hits the anti-air for a bit of damage. Doesn't even get a bit of damage, it will make his defense a bit more effective. And lightning strike is available. He's going for it. There's a good chance he is. It's hard to say, honestly. He does go for it. Moved everything that's not a infantry unit, and a couple infantry units. Does get a shot there in the missile. The missile goes down. We may see Winter Fury next turn as well. Luckily for Eagle, he's managed to get his superpower desynced from Olaf, so he doesn't worry about the snow. Infantry, infantry, infantry. 109,000 versus 190 was the Olaf state of the day. He still has the advantage. And very close to Winter Fury. He could get a Winter Fury this turn. Battlecopters. Nothing to shoot down those battlecopters. He actually have a lack of anti-airs. He has a good number of his own battlecopters, but all out of range. If he wants to stop those battlecopters from escaping, he can actually just pop a regular blizzard. It would cut their movement speed in half. And use it as a snare. Battlecopter, infantry, recon, and tank. Battlecopters are just charging away 4, knocks out 2 tanks there. Winter Fury is now available. Does a couple strikes there on the infantry unit there, and there as well. Winter Fury has been summoned. The only reason why not to go for a Winter Fury immediately is to wound a unit slightly, so be at 1% health, so 1 health infantry unit or 1 health unit can just simply one-shot something no matter what. Eagle will be taking power charge this turn, which is good for him. Does manage to finish off that unit there. Interrupts to capture that despicable neutral property. Surrounds the recons as well. Finish that one off. 2 health recon could probably take out the 1 health infantry unit there, but could be set free by the 3 health infantry unit there. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. And instead of 113,000, but Eagle's down to a staggeringly low 60. Though it looks like Eagle did save some money last turn, wasn't paying attention to that, so he can go something expensive this turn. When it comes to this map, Black Bombs are banned, Stealths are not. Battlecopter, anti-air, tank, and infantry. Strike there. Picks off a couple battlecopters. I think he just lost a battlecopter to that 1 health infantry unit there. I blinked thinking, oh, that's gonna be easy kill. Nope. I blinked the wrong time. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. 118 for 76, down by about approximately 2.5 turns. And here does pick up a battlecopter. Resupplies the recon there. Another battlecopter. Tank, infantry. Does get some picks there. Trying to flip some properties up north. One will actually both can be interrupted. This infantry is in range. This one's also in range. I mentioned this one's also in range. Does pick off an anti-air there. He only has 1 anti-air on the field, so Olaf's battlecopters will be pretty effective. And Olaf goes for full Neo tank. With his income 22,000, if he saves a little bit of extra money to help pay for the infantry units, he could potentially afford a Neo tank per turn. Not next turn though. It'll be a Neotank infantry and commit space skip, barring the repairs, of course. Like the artillery piece on top of the city there, so it will receive better repairs. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Does take some hits over here. Battlecopter to strike the tank. Does pick it off there. Hits the infantry in there. Neo tank gets boosted forward ever so slightly. As long as that infantry into there. I'm just slightly sick today. Let's get a drink opened up. Battlecopter to strike Battlecopter, nearly one-shotting it. We could see a lightning strike this turn. You're probably going to see a lightning strike this turn. Infantry positioning, recon, tank. He could dismount the infantry there to get both those tanks loaded up, but maybe not. This one probably won't get any additional movement speed, really. Battlecopter strike tank there. Battlecopter strike tank there. Does not see the Neo tank in the woods. Takes the Battlecopter there as well. Hits the tank there. Battlecopter gets shot down. Resupplies infantry. Infantry. 108,000 versus 92, but that's going to be cold. Now it's 85 versus 92, so pretty good Winter Fury there at the least at the moment. Strikes out 2 tanks there immediately. And Eagle does not really have any good counter to the Neo tank. Does get trapped there. And strafing that infantry unit there. Because right now, this only Battlecopters can be thrown into the Neo tank. Of course, only one will be able to throw the Neo tank because this one cannot be ranged. Could resupply to get a little bit extra health to hit it. Recon does take out the artillery piece there. Does. Oh, there's another Battlecopter nearby I missed. It's that Neo tank twice the Battlecopter is pretty good. And luckily for his plus 10% defense, which at that point in time is plus 8% defense on those Battlecopters, did take a little bit less damage from the Neo tank in return. Interior infantry, and does keep 8,000 in the bank. Olaf right now has 23,000 versus 20,000. This property is still despicably neutral. Battlecopter, infantry, tank. Does take a good strike down that tank. Does not finish off that tank there, but it's probably close to 1% health. And Eagle goes for a full bomber. He will do a triple base skip for that. Don't know about that. The black boat up here is almost running low on fuel. 19 fuel remaining. This other one has 23. Is that Battlecopter? Is that infantry twice? Is that infantry twice? Neo tank advanced to the city. Battlecopter, infantry, and tank. Does get a good strike down the anti-air. Finish off the anti-air there, and a good number of those outlying tanks there. Does have access to a lightning drive, which I suppose he could use that to help boost up his Battlecopters by additional 10%, or with activating power, it's another 10% there. You get a bit extra damage on the Neo tank. What is it? 10% attack plus 50% defense, like the inverted of the thing. Just give me one more. I always forget what lightning drive actually provides. Air units get plus 5% attack and defense. So no, that's his power. Air units, all air units get plus 10% attack and defense increased to plus 20. So it only gives you plus 5, plus 10. That's horrible. After all, like, that's going for what, plus 5% attack? Not to mention active power and superpower. Yeah, that's like a 1-star power. Even then, even if it costs 1 star, I don't think people will actually go for it all too often. Because the amount of air units you have to get on the field to make that useful is actually quite difficult, because you'll then be very vulnerable to mass anti-air. Anti-air, infantry, and APC. That was a good trap there. Battlecopter, anti-air, recon, and infantry. Bomber keeping his distance. No anti-air down south, so it could advance down south, but maybe get more AP recons in the field. Picks off some units there, trying to flip a property, gets a good strike there. Lots of small picks over on the right side. There could be a lightning strike next turn. Neotank's far down the corner, so maybe not. And right now, Olaf has just a good number of battlecopters, so Eagle does need more anti-airs. Does take out that unit there. Is this anti-air in range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Anti-air is in range. So that was a poor move there. Of course, he does not have caster vision, so that bomber is basically worthless now. He can get some repairs with the black boat, but that black boat itself has seen better days, like yesterday. We could see the Wounded Fury this turn, but it looks like he's unable to squeeze it out. Tank, recon, battlecopter, infantry. So this would be a turn for lightning strike, possibly. But you could use a double tap the bomber to get up to 4 health, like send that bomber right here, repair, and then lightning strike, repair again. Does get some good hits there. Bomber does get a shot there. Looks like he will perhaps be doing that. The battlecopter and triple base skip. While it needs some more repairs, does get that bomb up to 4 health. Recon spots the Neo tank. Battlecopter does strike. Battlecopter does not take it out. Definitely a good idea to send the bomber into the Neo tank. 4 defense stars is going to resist a bit of damage there, though. Anti-air does strike anti-air. Infantry, infantry, infantry. And Storm 103, also Storm 100,000, and has the Winter Fury. Now down to 77. There goes the battlecopter, which is probably a more valuable target. He looks like he's going to try to corral the bomber this way. Remember, it has going to reduce move speed, so not like it could actually escape from it. So it was only 2 health once again. Tank, infantry, battlecopter, infantry. Does pick off infantry unit there. Does start capturing the despicable neutral property. And Eagle actually has quite a bit of progress up north. Does take out that, or put some damage there. Infantry, 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 and battlecopter. Keep 9,000 funds in the bank. Make that 9,400 now. Picks off those 2 units there, hits the interior twice. Hits the infantry unit. Does use a black bolt to spot the recon there. Very nice. This black boat's getting pretty low on fuel, down to 12. The wooden health one has 13. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Does take up the battlecopter there. Very nice. Goes for another bomber. Those things just rely on bombs to counter the Neo tank, but hopefully this one does better. Previous one was not very good. Infantry. Hits that infantry twice. Anti-air goes down. Resupplies the battlecopter. Recon tank. And sort of 141 versus 80,000, so Eagle's still pretty far behind. Anti-air tank and recon. Does the battlecopter hits the anti-air as well. Eagle's taking some losses. Olaf trying to capture the despicably neutral property now. There's also some infantry units there. Neo tank is in range of the bomber, just needs a spotter. It has been spotted. Takes a little Neo tank of one shot. Gets a regular tank there, hits an infantry unit there, interrupts the capture there, and looks like the bomb will be struck by the anti-air next turn. Though luckily for him, it did pay for itself this time. They'll be trading equally, plus 22,000 versus 22,000, and seeing how much Eagle's behind, that's actually still not a great trade. Anti-air, infantry, battlecopter, and tank. Instead of 139,000 with 23,000 income versus 96 with 2,000 or 20,000 income. Anti-air, recon, tank. Let's take out the black boat there. The other black boat in comparison has 6 fuel remaining, which does resupply a recon. Tank, infantry, and battlecopter. Tank, battlecopter, infantry, recon. Battlecopter to strike the tank there, hits the infantry unit as well. Picks off some outlying units there, takes out the recon. Interrupts the capture, so the city's still despicably neutral. And Olaf right now does have 27,000, so he could go for something more expensive. Infantry, Neo tank, infantry. Winter Free is now available. Eagle could eye for Lightning Strike, but I don't think it's going to be enough power charge this turn. That means he's going to be fighting in a blizzard with the Lightning Strike. So this bomber's turn is going to be cut in half, so he's probably not going to apply the full, Lightning Strike next turn. Good hits there. Does take out a good number of tanks. Hits the interior as well. Lightning Strike is available. The bomber's movement range is going to be cut in half. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Bomber's range can strike a regular tank there, so he could actually eye for a Lightning Strike this turn, because it may have just enough movement. Yep, with that move there, I have a feeling he is going for Lightning Strike. Olaf in turn 165,000 versus 92, so Eagle has a lot of grounds in the game, but there's a lot of stuff within range of a lightning strike. So Olaf may capture some properties up here. This one will be interrupted with a lightning strike. Got another recon tank, another infantry with a battlecopter reserve. Fully stops the capture, so this property will be flipped. Does finish up the tank there. Bomber does strike tank. Tank strikes tank. Meteor strikes battlecopter. Tank strikes tank. Hits the infantry unit there. Battlecopter will finish off tank there, so great lightning strike turn. Ends of 109,000. Olaf starts turn 116, so still has a decent advantage. Now 24 versus 19,000 income. Does put another round of that bomber. Overall, Eagle's bombers are just simply not been worth it. Bomber will strike the Neo tank, doing some damage there. Battlecopter is taking out that Neo tank multiple times, so gets good hits there. The Neo tank can escape. Recon anti-air and tank. Anti-air, battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Good strike there in that battlecopter. Bomber will strike the Neo tank, and the Neo tank gets finished off there. Another battlecopter goes down up north. There's a recon the area. Eagle may want to send some more infantry to catch up some more of these properties. Battlecopter, infantry, APC, and infantry. Meteor does go down, battlecopter gets struck, bomber gets struck. Infantry, tank, recon, battlecopter. Insert 122,000 versus 91. Right now the income deficit is getting quite massive. Does strike the recon there, and twice. Trying to capture that property there, and that time it looks like it will be successful. The black boat here had received some refuel from a APC, this one here. Interior battlecopter, infantry. Tank does strike the recon there. Artillery and tank gets boosted forward. Battlecopters make it up north. Another battlecopter, tank, and infantry. And serve 149,000 versus 109. Does strike the black boat. Hits infantry twice. Hits the battlecopter, knocking it out. Join captures there, so we'll be capturing next turn. And looks like Eagle's getting a good swell of battlecopters. Formation is 6 of them versus a formation of 4. So both sides does a pretty good amount of battlecopters, and even a map which is a 3-base map. Eagle does make sense though with additional passive benefits. Neo tank, infantry. Of course, so Olaf's income's high enough, he can afford that every single turn. Recon goes down twice. Hits that recon as well, knocking it out. Hits the infantry unit there. He will realize, oh, that infantry unit is going to be shelled by artillery, but that's a minor loss at that point in time. Tank, recon, tank. Does strike the tank there. Hits the recon as well. Will not be interrupting the capture right here. The despicable neutral property here has been finally captured by Olaf this time. Hits that tank twice. Hits that recon twice. Hits the infantry there twice. as well as there twice. And the one infantry unit does win the coin flip. Anti-air, tank, battlecopter, and infantry. Battlecopter hits battlecopter. Winter Fury is now available. He is pushing his way forward. There may be enough damage he can get for lightning strikes. Hard for me to tell at this moment in time. Doesn't feel like it. Does get some good damage here. He is just charging way forward. One way you can blunt your opponent's attack if you just hit everything first, though. Tank, recon, infantry, and battlecopter. Just only one tank. Answer for 134,000 versus 129. And here's the Winter Fury. Neo takes out the anti-air, hits the infantry there. Gets that infantry in there, takes out the battlecopter, hits that battlecopter, knocking out. Lightning strike is available, but you don't have much to work with a lightning strike, I believe. Hits the anti-air as well. 76,000 versus 152. Does not put a round to the battlecopter there, so I think he's going to hit the resign button. Because I'd assume if he needs to get on out of there, those ones can always just use the recon to escape on out of there. With a lightning strike. Battlecopter, infantry. Pops a lightning strike. Does not take the artillery piece there, puts around the artillery. Anti-air just strikes the battlecopter, takes that tank there. Battlecopter hits tank. Recon hits infantry, does spot the Neo tank. Well, you probably already knew that. 85,000 for 110, so Olaf shows a sizable advantage. There's a battlecopter there. And puts some rounds in that APC. Takes the recon, takes out the APC. 2 capture products remaining, so that proper will be flipped. Right now, Eagle has 18,000 income, which is horrible. That's probably what's really doing Eagle in, the lack of income. T-copter, recon, tank, infantry. Good hits up here and on the right side. Olaf was pretty firm grasp for both the flanks, as well as a pretty good grasp in the center. Goes back to the Neo tank, could have kept their around a little bit longer. May was worried about other assets, but only battlecopters are there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, tank. And Eagle does resign there. This is Angrade saying, "Thank you for watching," and on to the next replay.